Pro-Palestinian student protesters at college campuses across the U.S. are digging in despite the arrest of more demonstrators by police. The protesters are demanding that schools cut financial ties to Israel and divest from companies they say are enabling Israel-Hamas war. More in this report from NBC News.
Tonight, new crackdowns on pro-Palestinian demonstrators on college campuses across the country.
Free Palestine! Ceasefire now!
69 arrested over an unauthorized encampment at Arizona State University early this morning, according to a university spokesperson. At the University of Indiana in Bloomington this afternoon, police forcibly detaining demonstrators and arresting 23 after dismantling tents set up on campus, and in Boston,
Palestine will live forever!
Police detained more than 100 demonstrators at Northeastern University after an unauthorized encampment was infiltrated by professional organizers, according to university officials. Meanwhile, at New York's Columbia University, a surreal juxtaposition. Some preparing for graduation set for mid-May, while others refused to leave a tent city firmly established on campus. Earlier this week, the university barred a student leader of the protest from campus after a video surfaced of the individual calling for the death of Zionists. The student has since apologized for the remarks. A few miles downtown at NYU, a new encampment set up just days after NYPD cleared one from campus. Protest leaders unsure of what repercussions they may face. Are you prepared to not graduate because of what's been unfolding here?
Honestly, yes. Like, to me, Palestine is that important to me that I'm willing to go that far.
Etta, an NYU senior, is among the demonstrators that have been arrested, and she says she'll continue with the protest.
Late last night, university officials making their stance clear, saying they have no plans to bring back the police, saying it would not only be counterproductive, but it would also draw far too much attention.
U.S. President Joe Biden used the annual White House Correspondents' Dinner to poke fun at election rival Donald Trump and speak of the importance of November's election. As Biden spoke, large demonstrations were taking place outside the hall in protest against his support of Israel and its war with Hamas. David Garrett reports.
In a formal dinner suit, President Joe Biden in relaxed mood, speaking to journalists and celebrities at the yearly White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Immediately taking aim at Donald Trump.
Age is the only thing we have in common. My vice president actually endorses me. I had a great stretch since the State of the Union, but Donald has had a few tough days lately. You might call it stormy weather.
Most listening seem to get the joke as Biden referenced the Stormy Daniels hush money trial currently taking place in New York.
Trump's so desperate he started reading those Bibles he's selling. Then he got to the first commandment. You shall have no other gods before me. That's when he put it down and said, this book's not for me.
Biden also compared his political rival to a 6-year-old. Trump saw the speech, calling it really bad on social media, adding Biden doesn't get much worse than this. While the former president fights legal battles on multiple fronts, the current leader also has problems. As dinner guests arrived, pro-Palestinian protesters heckled them for attending Biden's event. Shame on you, they shouted. Biden entered through a different route, avoiding the crowds. The president avoided the topic of the Israel-Hamas war and the protest completely in his 10-minute speech at the gala. He did talk about the importance of this election year and the choice between him and Trump this November.
I'm sincerely not asking of you to take sides, but asking you to rise up to the seriousness of the moment. Move past the horse race numbers and the gotcha moments and the distractions, the sideshows that have come to dominate and sensationalize our politics. And focus on what's actually at stake. And I think in your hearts you know what's at stake.
Biden also spoke of the importance of journalistic freedom at home and around the world and efforts to do everything he can to free U.S. journalists imprisoned abroad.
To a free press, to an informed citizenry, to an America where freedom and democracy endure. God bless America.
David Garrett, TVB News.
A cleanup is underway in some suburban areas of Guangzhou 1 day after a strong tornado plowed through the districts. At least 5 people died and more than 30 others injured. Hundreds of industrial plants were damaged. Mimo Sangai reports.
This was the scene at Liantian village in the Baiyun district of Guangzhou, where the tornado hit on Saturday afternoon. A weather station in the village recorded wind gusts of up to 20.6 meters per second, or about 74 kilometers per hour. Baiyun authorities said 141 factories were damaged, but there were no reports of residential building collapses. This video captured the movement of the tornado. Sparks were seen at a nearby transmission tower. This truck driver was on the road at the time. In 1987, a tornado hit Hong Kong, causing damage to some vehicles and apartment units at Meifu Shanchun. In 2004, another tornado was recorded at the airport and an engineer was injured in the incident. A meteorologist said it takes many factors to be present at the same time for a tornado to form.
Strong convective property of the atmosphere. This happens when we have strong southwesterly winds, which provides a lot of moisture and also relatively high temperature at low level. And at the same time, we need relatively dry upper atmosphere, and that creates unstable conditions, which is conducive to strong rising air currents. We need one more condition, which is we need a variation of wind speed and direction with respect to height. According to the past statistics, we can expect only 1 tornado in every 4 years. Even in China, strong tornadoes, it happens around 3 times every year because China is so big, right? So the chances of a tornado happening in one specific city is very, very, very small indeed. So this is what we sometimes meteorologists or climatology call low probability but high impact event.
As to why some countries are more likely to be hit by tornadoes than others, Leung said that's due to geographical reasons. For example, in the United States, the Rocky Mountains and the Great Plains are contributing factors, he noted. Mims 9, TVB News.
Welcome back. Mainland authorities today announced the expansion of the talent exit permit scheme to Beijing and Shanghai. The authorities also said exit permits for business visits from mainlanders will be extended to 2 weeks. Both measures will take effect from May 6. Mimo Sangai reports.
The talent exit scheme was introduced to the Greater Bay Area in February last year. The scheme targets 6 types of people, such as healthcare and legal professionals, as well as individuals who are outstanding in their fields. These individuals are able to apply for multiple entry visas of 1 to 5 years for Hong Kong and Macau, with maximum stays of 30 days each visit. In a press conference today, the National Immigration Administration said the talent exit permit will be expanded next month to include individuals from Beijing and Shanghai. Authorities said the new measure will effectively support the development of the innovation and technology sectors in Hong Kong and Macau. Meanwhile, mainlanders who travel to Hong Kong with an exit permit for business purposes will be allowed to stay for a maximum of 14 days from the previous 7 days. The applications for such business visit exit endorsement will be accepted across the country. The National Immigration Administration said the adjustment will further promote business exchanges between the mainland and the 2 SARs. The Hong Kong government welcomed the 2 measures, saying they will help the city further integrate into the national development. The administration also said it will offer greater convenience for the mainland business sector under the new measure. Mims 9, TVB News.
Speaking to TVB News, Secretary for Development Bernadette Lin expects there will be more clarity in terms of the direction of amendment on the Buildings Ordinance in the 4th quarter of this year. While the government is looking into ways to streamline the prosecution process and introduce progressive fines for illegal building works and failure to comply with mandatory building inspections. This as the deadly fire at New Lucky Plaza in Yau Ma Tei revealed enforcement issues in relation to building inspection orders. The government is studying possibilities to require all buildings that have reached a certain age to undergo inspections. On another topic, following the death of 2 sewer workers in Shatin, the development chief said the government is studying the inclusion of new clauses in relevant contracts to step up protection for workers. They include the requirement of permission from the Drainage Services Department before letting any worker enter manholes and mandating specific training for work in manholes. Secretary for Culture, Sports and Tourism Kevin Yeung today said the Labor Day fireworks display may be cancelled because of bad weather condition. Yeung said authorities will make an announcement on Wednesday afternoon. The weather has been gloomy over the past few days. The observatory said the rainy weather will likely persist in the coming few days, including Labor Day on Wednesday. A highlight of the public holiday is the fireworks display set to be held across Victoria Harbour. Secretary for Culture, Sports and Tourism Kevin Yeung said authorities will monitor the weather on that day before deciding if the fireworks show should go ahead. A grassroots festival took place in Shamshui-po today. It aims to not just bring together the community, but also bring new life to one of the city's oldest districts. Take a look. Musical performances, game booths, and workshops on culture and crafts, as well as play zones for toddlers and children.
Very, very fun.
Why?
Because we can get wet and throw balls.
This Sunday, Tainan Street in Shamshui-po transformed into a jamboree and a playground for the community at this Kumfil Festival, bringing together both locals and tourists.
Very interesting. It's not too crowded and it's also very clean, which I like a lot. Yeah, it's a good mix of locals and yeah, people who want to just come visit and take a look.
Multiple stalls are organized by Shamshui-po natives, including this one that promotes songs and drawings about stories in the district.
Different artists is trying to draw different kinds of pictures of the older styles of shops and everything that is happening behind. And we are trying to tell the story through music and through a lot of things behind of the story. Yep.
This festival in Shamshui-po also hands out discount vouchers on nearby shops and restaurants in hopes of attracting more footfall to the neighborhood, as well as giving out freebies like balloons to children.
We believe there are a lot of good minds and good acts in the community. So we don't need to always just thinking about how to help them, to get them involved. So this time we got 80 different participants and stakeholders participating in this. So I think this is an event that by the community, with the community and for the community.
And that's the news for tonight. Thank you for watching.